Welcome back. The Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, has rejected the notice of the People's Democratic Party's 100th National Executive Committee meeting, citing procedural non-compliance. The PDP had scheduled its NEC meeting for June 30th, but INEC says the notice was invalid because it was signed only by the acting national chairman, Umar Damagum, without the co-signature of the National Secretary as required by the 2022 regulations and guidelines for political parties.
Well, here's where it gets murky. The PDP is in the middle of a bitter internal crisis over who the legitimate National Secretary is. Is it Senator Samuel Anyanwu who left to contest the Imo governorship and lost? Or is it Sunday Ude-Okoye, nominated by the Southeast caucus in his absence? INEC reportedly still recognizes Anyanwu, citing a Supreme Court judgment. Is INEC simply enforcing the rules, or is this further escalating the party crisis? Well, joining us for today's discussion are members of the People's Democratic Party. We have Dickson Iroegbu and Usman Okai. Thank you very much for joining us this morning. Gentlemen, welcome to the show.
Thank you very much. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning, Austin, my brother, from that end.
All right. Gentlemen, this refusal, how do you interpret it? Would you say that this is maybe in line with the fact that, first of all, you can see that there is some measure of confusion regarding who the National Secretary is? Or would you say that this is some maybe political overreach? How do you interpret this? I'll start with you, Mr. Dickson Iroegbu.
And thank you for the opportunity. First, there is no confusion. The People's Democratic Party has only one national secretary, and his name is Senator Samuel Anyanwu. That is who was elected national secretary at the convention. The convention is the highest arm of the organization called PDP is the convention. And at that convention, the national secretary alongside other executive offices were elected. And there's a constitutional provision for how long they will stay or how they will be removed, in the case as captured, well captured in our constitution. But somehow, because of inordinate ambition, if you may, or whatever that we have 10 left now, 10 governors of PDP, whatever their issues were, particularly as engineered by their colleague, the governor of Enugu State, that is Peter Mba. He is the one behind all of this. And this shows clearly how politically naive he is, because even though he's a governor, he doesn't understand the processes of, running a political party. You don't just take out anybody elected by all Nigerians. The office of National Secretary is not elected by any zone, but elected by all members of the party from all parts of Nigeria. And this happened at the convention. So nobody, no zone, no individual, no group of people, by any means whatsoever, can oust any member of the executive arm of the PDP. Because PDP is a democratic party. This is a party deliberately set up to engineer and re-engineer the state of the Nigerian state. That is our nationhood, because Nigeria is not a nation yet. For Nigeria to be a nation, we must give every zone and every citizen that sense of ownership of the nation. And that is what PDP is playing. When they went to court in Enugu, that is here, the Enugu State governor, alongside his group, that is, of course, led by the former national chairman of the party Southeast, Ali Udefa in this case, who is no more a member of the party, but came and deceived the sitting governor of Enugu State. And they formed that very opinion of theirs that they could replace Sam Anyanwu, and that what is his crime? That he sought to become governor of Imo State. It is not a crime. And the constitution of the party has provision well written out how that it is optional for any executive member who aspires to vie for any elective office in Nigeria. There are procedures, and the procedure is simple. It's provided in section 47.5, which says that that executive member may choose to resign. So it is optional. It's not compulsory. And in this case, it would have been compulsory if he got elected and got sworn in as governor. But he didn't get it here. And he came back. And we have had instances of executive members of the party who, like the current governor of Taraba State, he was at that time chairman of PDP, at the state level when he sought to become governor. He was still occupying that office until he got sworn in. Our current deputy national publicity secretary sought to become governor of Kebbi State, that is Ibrahim Abdullahi, sought to become governor of Kebbi State. He didn't get it. He reverted to his position, which he is currently occupying, that is the office of deputy publicity secretary. So what crime did Sam Anyanwu commit here? It became, something messy, like I said. The governor of Enugu State, who is the brain behind it, alongside the governor of Oyo State, they are the people directly responsible in this confusion in the party. There's nothing wrong with PDP. PDP is not confused. PDP is not at war. PDP is not dead, and PDP will not die. Rather, we have some very few elements amongst us who got drunk with power and think they can independently remove and replace any member of the National Working Committee. That is not what PDP constitution, says. We are not like APC. We are not like other political parties owned by individuals. The president or the leader of APC can decide at any time to remove anybody, but not in PDP. PDP is a political party owned by the Nigerian people. And the mission of the party is to activate and re-engineer the nationhood of Nigeria. We are the only party positioned for the good of the nation.
Mr. Iroegbu, I'd like to bring in Mr. Okai into the conversation as well and find out if he also is of the opinion that you've shared and if he agrees with that same thought process regarding the confusion with concerning who the national secretary is. I know you say there isn't a confusion, but we've seen multiple court judgments. There have been court judgments that have supported Samuel Anyanwu. We've seen the Supreme Court, of course, saying that Ude-Okoye, and then we've seen the Supreme Court saying this is a party affair. So we have seen different reactions. Let's hear from Mr. Okai if he agrees with you, if he shares same thoughts.
Good morning. Are you with me?
Yes, we are. Please go ahead.
Hello?
Yes, we can hear you, Mr. Austin. Go ahead.
The studio there is someone that I respect so much. But unfortunately, I am disappointed at what he is saying. Saying that the PDP is not confused, saying there is no crisis in the party, saying some few elements think they can remove and this. Now he mentions the governor of Enugu State. We are talking of the party with the history. One, there is a serious crisis in the party. Two, the members of the party are confused. You can see the mass decamping across 36 states of Nigeria. Just 2 days ago, the former vice president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, the former governor of Kaduna State, the former vice president of Goodluck left, and he was yesterday in Kaduna, even receiving President President Tinubu. What am I saying in a sense is simple. It's simple. The positions of the party that he says he belongs to the people. The Southeast executives of the PDP held a meeting in Enugu, and they came up with resolution nominating a replacement for His Excellency Oga Sam Anyanwu, the National Secretary of the party. What is he expected of him to do? There is a vote of no confidence passed on him already by the zone he is representing, which is Southeast. And the norms and tradition of the PDP shows any state that...
Are you there? Oh, well, seems Mr. Okai's network is not very clear. Okay, go ahead, if you can hear us. Go ahead, go ahead.
The positions of the party is simple. The positions of the party is simple. Once the governor is there. The governor takes the positions of the leadership. And where there is no governor, the former governor takes over the leadership position. In Enugu, they attack Enugu Southeast. The governor of Enugu State takes the position of PDP leadership. Therefore, is recognized by the party as the leaders of the PDP in Southeast. You can't take that away from there. Two, another powerful organs of the party, apart from NWC, National Executive Council, is governors' forums. My friend in the studio there know of it. I'm neither for Anyanwu nor against him. But we are talking about reality here and the party that is facing crisis. The governor of Enugu happened to be the leaders. The PDP Governors Forum held several in Taraba State, in Oyo State, adopted, and they came up with a consensus that the two people aggrieved parties should step aside, where it was unanimously adopted the positions of the Deputy National Secretary to take over the position. Yes, why is Sam Anyanwu still imposing himself on the party? That is the problem. There has been series of meetings where they said he should step aside. What is it? Yes, he has a constitutional tenure limit. And just as he quoted as Article 47 of the PDP Constitution, the option of resignation is not a must. He may choose to and he may not. But he went for the governor. And while in the race for governorship, his own zone take another decisions. So if there is anybody Sam Anyanwu should blame, it should be his zone. Not it. As it stands now, the party is having a serious crisis. They cannot hold a INEC meeting. INEC is still recognizing Sam Anyanwu. So what is the way forward? Now that he said he's not resigning, what do we do? That should be what we should discuss. Because I can tell you authoritatively, with INEC recognizing Sam Anyanwu, there's nothing PDP will do without INEC, without Sam Anyanwu in it, that will be bind on anybody. You can't do any internal affair without umpire, which is INEC. And INEC is a supervisory body of any political activities, internally or externally. And now that we're having this quagmire, saying that the party is not having an issue, that shows we are being economical with the truth. And that is not the reality. There's a serious crisis within our party, and we must accept that fact. And Sam Anyanwu zone came up that he is to be replaced, and there's nothing we can do about it. He made mentions of the Taraba governor, the common governor, yes, but the Southeast did not come up with the option. The Southeast do not complain. The Northeast, where he's coming from, do not complain. The Taraba state that he was the chairman of the party never raised a complaint. But here we have a complaint raised from the Southeast, the zone that nominated Oga Sam Anyanwu as a national secretary of the party. So in this case, there is a problem. The party is in quagmire. There is a crisis, and that is the reality of ground. The members have lost confidence. If you that is talking to me as a journalist, I can tell you that I'm not the only person you contacted. You must have called so many people yesterday to come and speak for PDP who turned it down. That is the realities on ground. The party is having a problem, and the earlier we wake up to resolve it, the better it is. It was agreed that there should be national conventions in August. Now the convention cannot hold because the NEC meeting that's supposed to ratify it, the INEC has rejected the NEC meeting. So what else? What else? So there's a crisis.
Okay.
Well, this is. We're starting to see. Even here in the studio, it's quite worrisome that. The two respected gentlemen, that is, both of you who are here with us, it seems that there's even a disagreement between yourselves on the direction of the party. But let me ask you, Mr. Iroegbu, looking at the NEC meeting, which is supposed to take place soon, is it ever going to happen? Because from INEC's portal, they still recognize one person as the secretary. And if you're sending a document to request for the NEC meeting and there's no signature of the secretary, of course it will not hold. So how do you move from here? That's my question.
Yes, before you respond to that question, let's go on a very quick break. And when we come back, we'll have Mr. Iroegbu respond to that before we bring in other guests. Please stay with us.
Thanks for staying with us. Two PDP members join us on this very, very interesting conversation concerning the NEC, the NEC meeting, which should have held or should hold, apparently, very, very soon, particularly the 30th of June. But it seems like there are internal processes, or you'd say a wrangle that's ongoing in the PDP. Well, Let me bring our guests back again on the air. We do have two PDP members joining us, Dickson Iroegbu, and of course we also have Mr. Usman Okai. Right before the break, Austin had broken down that the reasons why he thinks that Senator Sam Anyanwu should remain the secretary of the PDP, regardless of whether he went for a political office. After all, he stated the reasons that are enshrined in the constitution of the political party, which is the PDP, that he may, that word may. So let me go back to you this time for your reaction, Mr. Austin Usman Okai. It's obvious that even if the secretary went for a political office, it clearly states that he may choose to come back, and then INEC still looks and views Mr. Samuel as the #1 secretary for the political party, the PDP. Where do we go from here? Is there any reason why the NEC meeting should not hold?
Went on break, the question was for me, and I thought it was for me to come back.
Yes,
absolutely. It's for you. Go ahead.
Okay, great. So first off, thank you. Austin is my friend and comrade brother. And we are politicians, both of us. And in my language, politics is called ndorondoro chichi. That is, you pull your side, I pull my side. It's not a fight. What he has done is that he's pulling his own side. But it's important for us to put this record straight. There is something called the constitution of the party. That's our ground norm. That's what guides us, why we play whatever politics we want to play. Now, the point is that that constitution, like I said, the highest organ in that party, in the constitution of the party, is the convention. And at the convention, people are elected. And that is where the national secretary was elected. For him to be removed either by northeast, northwest, southeast, or southwest, or whatever, they have to come back through the process as captured in the constitution. So he cited, I'm from the southeast. He cited that the people of Southeast have said that, that they don't want Sam Anyanwu anymore. Okay, they have a right to that. Not everybody will like your face. They have a right, a few people have a right to say what they want to say about Sam Anyanwu. But there's a process. So if the Southeast caucus is constitutionally convened and they take a position on Sam Anyanwu, fine. They will now come to the National Working Committee, submit their position, and then the National Working Committee will convoke the National Executive Committee, where this issue now can be discussed and possibly ratified. Now, for that process to be concluded, the constitutionally provided officers must be given their right to act. In this case, the engine room of the party, the accountant general of the party, the person who runs the administrative affairs of the party is the National Secretary Office. And there is only one yet amongst the party that is National Secretary, which is Senator Samuel Anyanwu. Even though the Southeast Caucus, so-called, convened and nominated someone to replace Sam Anyanwu still is, until NEC holds, Sam Anyanwu still is the National Secretary of PDP. So it behoves on him, therefore, to sign the letter alongside the national chairman as provided for by law for NEC to hold. So what held last month, that is the 99th so-called NEC meeting, was not signed. The meeting was not convoked by due process. So National Secretary Sam Anyanwu did not sign any letter that came about that meeting. So chairman of the party writing INEC to now say that they want to hold NEC, the 100th NEC, where they will ratify possibly the Sam Anyanwu matter as provided, as nominated by the Southeast Caucus and all of that. Now, INEC has said, no, that's not the process. The process is that we have only one national secretary as recognized by law in our system, and that name is Senator Samuel Anyanwu. The letter you're sending to us must have his own signature as part of it, requesting this NEC to hold. This is the law. Nigeria is not a banana republic. And when I said that there is no crisis in the party, I meant it. I'm not playing. I'm not quagmire or no quagmire. Well, it's politics. It's not a religious organization. People must drag for positions as what is going. PDP, like I said to you, is the only political party positioned to highlight and promote democratic tenets in Nigeria so that we can achieve our nationhood. Unlike the other political party, this kind of quagmire, as my brother using his words, stated here, will not happen because one man can just wake up and decide, and it will happen that this person is out. So PDP is going through that process. And let me tell you, at the end of it all, and by the way, yesterday was the birthday of our leader, the national secretary, that is on the 18th, was the birthday of Senator Samuel Anyanwu. And indeed, it was grand. All PDP members celebrated him. And here I am taking this opportunity to celebrate him because indeed, he is our national secretary. Any other thing that is being bandied around is politics until next sits and ratifies whatever Southeast caucus nominated. That's the only person that is national secretary is still Senator Samuel Anyanwu. And what INEC has told the national chairman to do is follow the process. For next to speak,
we get your
both
point.
of you, the national secretary and the national chairman, must sign, join and sign the letter.
We get your point. We get your point.
That is the law.
Mr. Iroegbu, we get your point because I think you've made the same point when you started. But it seems like Mr. Okai is not impressed with your points, especially the last point you made there.
It's allowed. He's my brother, like I said, and he's in Dorondoro Chichi. He's pulling his own side, and I'm pulling my own side. Okay. But in the end, PDP will win. Okay,
let's hear from Mr. Okai then.
The problem here is that there's something my friend in the studio is running away from it. The fact remains that, yes, is he aware of the power of the PDP governors forums? Twice, they have sat on this case and they have come up with the option. Yes, legally, Samuel Anyanwu remains the national secretary of the party until INEC say otherwise. Nobody can take that away. But remember, this case went as far as Supreme Court, the apex, the highest court in the land, which stated that the issue of the national secretary remain internal affairs of the party. What is the internal affairs of the party? The organs of the party. Who are the organs of the party? The governors' forums. What are they? The BOT. What happened? They convene a meeting and they hire the solution to it. NEC is as powerful as convention. He knows the reality. And he knows the decision taken by the NEC is as equal as the decision taken at the National Convention. The NEC can replace anybody. They have that constitutional power. The NEC can even remove the national chairman by passing a vote of no confidence on him. It must not be through the National Convention. That is the reality. The fact is now is we as a PDP, or those the lovers of democracy, all we need to do is to appeal to the conscience of Samuel Anyanwu. Either he resign voluntarily, because as long as INEC keep recognizing him, there's no meeting you can hold. There's no next meeting you can hold now that will be issue of legal matters as it stands. And INEC decisions, because with the Supreme Court ruling, they have given the whole power to INEC. And that is what Samuel Anyanwu is taking advantage of it. That is the reality. Either we beg him to allow the party to move forward, or we accept the reality and wait until the tenure comes to an end. And that should be the way forward as it stands now. We have two things now. Either Sam resign, or we wait for his tenure to end. That is my advice to the People's Democratic Parties and Nigerians as a whole. So the realities on ground is that is Sam's position remain legal by the law? Yes. But is he in tandem with the organs of the party, the working of the party? No. Is he popular within the party as is today? No. And if it is okay, why are people leaving the party? Nothing is happening other than so many governors has gone, the former vice president has gone. Is it about you occupying the position, or is it about you moving the party? Is the party doing well today? No. So these issues of national secretary has long been overflogging, and I sincerely advise the PDP, either they work with him now, or they stand a chance of not even feeding any candidate in the coming election, because you can't put something or nothing. He's still recognized, and any meeting, anything that come out from anybody, anything you produce outside Samuel Anyanwu today is nullity, including the planned National Convention is nullity. And if the National Convention emerge and anybody buy a form from them, whoever signed that form from you, it is still a nullity. So the implication is that the party standing not even going to the 2027 election unless this issue is resolved now, and time is now, and the time is running out. The time is running out. I don't think anybody, you can see the excuse from the governor of Imo State. He is scared of his second-term nomination forms. Who is going to sign for him and who will not sign? Because any convention you hold now without Sam Anyanwu is still nullity. So we are now at the mercy of Sam Anyanwu. If he decides to resign, fine. If he refuses to resign, we should work with him pending the end of his tenure. The case has gone to the appeal court, from the court in Enugu to the appeal court to Supreme Court, back to the BOT resolution, back to the next meeting, down to the governor's forums, and yet it still remains. We are now at his mercy, and that is just a reality. I agree with my colleagues there that as it stands today, there's nothing we can do without him. But there was a vote of no confidence standing against Sam Anyanwu. Being national secretary is not a popular as it seems. 90% of the PDP are members, or let me say 70% of the PDP members, if you throw it open today, they'll vote against him. Then why are you still remaining there?
So if you're saying, Mr. Okai,
power belongs to the people.
Mr. Okai, if you're saying that at the end of the day you are at the mercy of Sam Anyanwu, that you can't do anything, you admit that you can't do anything without him, can't the party then just wait till the expiration of his tenure? Doesn't he have just 6 months left?
Can I please respond?
You will respond. I just want this a follow-up to what he had said, but after that you will respond. But I want him to quickly speak to this, please.
Advise the party that they should comply with him and wait for him to end his tenure. And that is it. We are now at his mercy. He is my friend and you know.
Mr. Okai, we were having an issue with your audio. You need to unmute. I think something has.
To him, who signed
All
separately?
right. Okay.
For the party primaries in Enugu State. So we are at his mercy. That is the reality.
All right. Let's now come back to you, Mr. Nnamdi. Please go ahead, Mr. Nnamdi Dickson.
Yes, thank you so much. You see, first off, my dear brother Austin, what I have here is our constitution. And this is what the Supreme Court said you should go back to. Whatever this constitution says, follow it, and then you will solve your problem. Because this is your holy grail. Anything outside it is chaos, as you are calling for. But let me please, allow me please, so that I can make my point. The point I'm making is that you told us here, and this is a misrepresentation, you told the viewing audience here that the Governor's Forum has constitutional powers. No, there is no constitutional powers. Their powers is advisory. They are only powerful because they are funding the party. But their position as provided for in the constitution is advisory. So if, for instance, one of their own says, I want to remove this guy from my zone because I don't like his face, whatever it is that is personal, with the person, then he now comes to his group. And of course, they watch each other's back. They will naturally agree to whatever their colleague has presented. But after they do that, they now present to NWC as an advice. They can advise the NWC, sack Sam Anyanwu. NWC knows now that for them to sack Sam Anyanwu, they have to follow this book, the holy book of PDP, is the constitution. Anything that is not here is all cock and bull. Sam Anyanwu is not a threat to PDP. In fact, in the future, we, the generation now, will be grateful that someone like Sam Anyanwu fought constitutionally and
We've been disconnected from your audio, Mr. Dickson and Nnamdi. We can't hear you. Yeah, we're hoping that you can reconnect. Maybe we can hear from Mr. Okai now if your audio issues are resolved as well. I think right now we've now made the conversation about who the National Secretary of the People's Democratic Party is. But if we go back to the way this conversation started, it was about INEC's refusal for the NEC meeting to hold. Today is June 19th. We have 11 more days to the 30th of June. What next? Will this, what do you think, where does the PDP go to from here? Mr. Okai, if you're there, please speak to us.
What I said, that is the point I said we are at his mercy. Either the governor's forums, the POT admit or agree to work with Sam Anyanwu pending the end of his tenure, or we stand a chance of not even being recognized in the coming general election 2027, because you can't put something on nothing. Anything you do, any convention you do without Sam Anyanwu's signature on it is nullity. From the work INEC may not even supervise the national convention coming up. And why can you conduct a national convention without INEC being there? That's why I say we are at his mercy. And that is the Governors Forum. I never said that the Governors Forum have a constitutional power. They fund the party. They pay the salaries of the staffs of the party. They decide what. They are the leaders of the parties at their various states, not the former governors, unless when there's not a sitting governor, not the senator, unless when there's not the state has never produced a PDP governor. So the reality he knows that the standard mechanisms of the party that I said, and as I still started to say, that the Governors Forum is the one of the most powerful organs of the party. Yes, they play advisory role, but do that mean that is it new? No, right from the times of the governor, right from the time of Dr. Okai, so many of them, so many of the former national chairman, the Governors Forum has been so powerful, and everybody know. Even the current in APC, the Governors Forum is still so powerful. The president is aware of that. So that is what I'm saying. As the staying put of Sam Anyanwu, not just staying there. What do you need this power for? The party is dying. And now that the party is dying, there is a vote of no confidence on the current national chairman, Damagu, and the national secretary. So many of them have been saying that they are working for APC. And you see some people believe that instead of staying in PDP, are working for APC directly. Why not go to APC directly? That is one of the reasons why so many of them are. Look at it now. How will you be losing governors every month? The governors are leaving. We have lost Delta State. We have lost Edo State. We don't know. I mean, we have lost Edo State in the election. We have lost Akwa Ibom. The Baeza and what is the other name? River State. River is on suspension. The party is on sick bed, and nobody should come and romance or be economical with the truth. We should tell who is joining PDP today. Nobody.
Oh well.
Can I finish my thoughts?
Your audio again, unfortunately, has interrupted Mr. Okai. I believe that Nnamdi Dickson is back as well to the conversation. And the question that I had asked Mr. Okai that I also want you to respond to, because I think the one thing you both can agree on is that Mr. Okai admits or agrees that the party cannot do anything without Samuel Anyanwu. Mr. Nnamdi Dickson thinks that and believes that Samuel Anyanwu is the rightful candidate, the rightful national secretary. So yes, maybe with slight different colorations, both of you are in a way on the same page. But I think the next question would be, if INEC refuses, as they have refused, to approve this NEC meeting to hold, what happens in the next 11 days?
Okay, let me quickly respond to that. The truth is that this confusion or this pains that PDP is going through right now is self-inflicted. I am not averse to the fact of these challenges, but it is self-inflicted. Even my brother, including what he's saying now, you ask yourself, the authority in the land has constitutionally followed the process. Why do you want to flout the law and still keep holding on to, oh, that somebody is the problem? No, you're flouting the law. The law is clear that this person is the constitutionally recognized national secretary, and his tenure elapses December 9th, 2025. What is the hurry about? Why don't we just go through that process and support this person to help keep accounting to the party, and then we won't have all of this? It was this same group of people, like my brother here, who supported in 2022 that the party should leave the zoning formula that is constitutionally recognized and adopt what is now called throwing it open. After throwing it open, the party got into a chaos. And that chaos is what we're still going through. The mistake of not upholding the constitution of the party in 2023. In 2023, what the party ought to have done is zoned to the south. But my brother from the other side kept saying no, that they had only 3 years, which is Yaradua. No, we don't play God. When the act of God happens, we just follow through the process. It is God. You can't query him. Nobody took Yaradua. Death took him away. And it is only God that owns the power to give life and to kill. So in this case, Yaradua was in government and death came. Jonathan concluded that term and then sought for another term. Yes, the crack started with Jonathan not keeping the agreement, which was that he was going to do one term. But then the northern Nigeria, led by Atiku Abubakar and a few others, a few of them got us into what we have found ourselves today. And 2015, APC came and ruined so far everything that PDP established for the good governance and administration of the affairs of the Nigerian people. So here we are again, not upholding, all right, the constitution of the party. The constitution is clear. Let us follow it. These sentiments that my brother is throwing up, people will leave PDP and people will come in. It's not the first time. But let me assure the likes of him, because maybe he is also going to leave. We are not going to leave. We are going to build this party. And this party will come back to power and help redeem the Nigerian nation and, put the nation back on track. That is what PDP will stay for. But these aspects of wanting to flout the law and then you say, that somebody should resign and all of that. My brother, that's a lie. Like I said earlier, before the network, disrupted me, I was saying that the likes of us, generations to come, will be grateful to the likes of Samuel Anyanwu for helping to uphold the rule of law. Because anything outside upholding this document, you are bringing anarchy, you are bringing confusion, and that is why PDP is going through what it's going through. The likes of you should change and adopt the constitution of the party. That is what will give the party relevance. That is what will give the party credence. Recognize what your party wrote as a document that should guide governance of the party. Recognize it, uphold it, and then let us also uphold this constitution, the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Let us also uphold it. That way, we are building a democratic environment and not our own sentiments and emotions and all of that.
All right.
It is politics, but let's play according to the rules of engagement.
All right.
That is the case here.
Thank you.
Is our national secretary.
Thank you, Mr. Iroegbu. Just to wrap things up, Iroegbu, anyway, we've heard from you. Your last words, please, because we're running out of time.
Mr. Okai?
Mr. Okai.
In fact, just as I said, him is being emotional of this matter and he's doing a hard job for Sam Anyanwu. I do not oppose Sam Anyanwu. I'm not against him. Neither am I working for him. But the fact today is that every Nigerian sees PDP as no serious opposition today. And that is why you are seeing people leaving. And what is the essence of the party when you cannot stand up for the people? What is it? So yes, I agree with him that the Atiku candidations of 2023 created chaos in the party. And at the same time, instead of Atiku to remain and resolve the party problem, stand up to provide leadership he has run and now into coalition. Which I agree with him. But the fact remains is Anyanwu as the national secretary, we are all admitted to it. Is the party doing well under them? What is the fate of the Nigerians? Do Nigeria believes in PDP today? No. Why are people saying that Sam Anyanwu and Damagu cannot lead to the National Convention? Because so many believe that they will produce their like. What is their like? So many believe that they are working for APC, that they are closer allies of FCT minister, who is now an appointee, who has endorsed President Tinubu for 2027. By allowing Sam Anyanwu and Damagu to produce the next NEC, the coming National Executive Working Committee will have no option than to also work for Tinubu. That is the thinking of majorities of the people who are saying that let these people live. They cannot produce their like in the National Convention. I'm not against them. If Sam Anyanwu chooses to remain best of luck, he said that I am leaving. I don't know what he means by that. I am more PDP than him. I was the candidate of the party in the last election. What is he saying that my like? What does he mean by my like? What does he mean by that? If you look at my position, I'm being objective on this matter. I'm being objective. I've never taken side. And Nigerian watching us all over know that who is working for who and who is not working for who. I'm not against Sam Anyanwu, but now PDP doing well? No. Are people living? Yes. Are people joining the party? No. Is the party ready for the National Convention? No. You can't do anything. The coming next meeting cannot hold because the INEC has rejected it. So we are at the mercy of him. That is not the reality. Thank you for the opportunity and God bless you.
All right.
All right. Thank you very much, gentlemen. We unfortunately have to wrap up the conversation. I can see Mr. Nnamdi Dickson trying to speak. We've run out of time. We'll have to bring you both again. The conversation, I think we then made the bulk of the conversation about the legality or otherwise of the national secretary and who should occupy that position. But we'll definitely have a continuation in the next 11 days. We'll see what the next steps are regarding the NEC meeting. Thank you very much, gentlemen, for joining the show.